to Sabah because apart from, Haris has just been asked to return back. And some of us can't even go to Sarawak. So, how difficult it is in your work to do, doing mapping and assisting the indigenous people? How difficult? What kind of barriers that you face? And how do you think we could help you, especially the communities here in the peninsula?
Okay, let's talk about Sabah. You have Sabah, which is Kota Kinabalu, Sandakan, Tawau. These are the cities. The people we work with are indigenous communities who do not live in the cities. They live in very remote areas. One example is the community in Ulupapak. They have been living there since before Malaysia was formed. They continue to live there, and until today there is no road that goes to their village. The way they live depends completely on the forest around them. For food, for medicine, for shelter, it all comes from nature. These people are also the voiceless. Nobody can hear them when they have problems. Nobody is there to solve their sorrows. But the good thing about them is that all they want is to be allowed to live their way of life, based on their beliefs and fulfilling their own ambitions. A lot of decisions are made that don't take them into consideration. So right now there's a big controversy in Sabah where they probably could be relocated forcibly so that the government of Sabah can build a dam. And this is not happening just in Sabah, but it is the plight of many indigenous communities all throughout Malaysia. Sarawak, Sabah, even orang asli in Semenanjung. And nobody hears their stories. So the work that we do, and it's not just me, but a whole group of friends who work together, is to get them to tell their stories, to help them to be heard. Not through our eyes, but in their own words and in their own images. So we give them tools such as how to make maps, so they can represent their topography, their sphere of life through their own eyes. We give them training in how to make films. And tonight, in fact, we've got a short film that we want to show to you. If you can come, 5 minutes, which is made by the indigenous people living in this very remote area. 7 p.m. to tell you what they feel when faced with forced relocation. How they feel when their way of life is considered to be backward or unproductive, and that they should be modernized and educated. So this is a very sad plight, because it's a beautiful culture. It is the essence of what makes us Sabahan, to have these cultures and these beliefs and these systems all inherited from the time of ancestors. So we're talking about knowledge that has withstood the test of time. And people are not listening. A lot of people want to modernize, put them in the market, educate them, give them jobs. And a lot of our work is helping them to communicate what they want. And really they are my heroes, because they fight some hard battles.
Thank you, Chris. Last but not least, we heard a lot about Bersih. We know what's going on, what happened. But Dr. Farooq, my question to you is, what were you feeling at that time? When you saw the FRU, and then the Prime Minister had given a call. Some of you went to see the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Exactly at that moment where everything is heated up, what was the feeling of the community? The committees at that time.
Well, I guess we decided that we're going to face it no matter what happens. So we're going to face it, whether it's going to be acid rain or whether it's going to be tear gas or whatever. We have to face it, because that was a time for us to say something, to say that we want a free and fair election and better democracy for this country, and we have to stand fast and to face whatever outcome there will be. That's what I feel.
Weren't you afraid?
Well, I guess everybody has a degree of fear in their hearts, but I guess at that time, if you can see Auntie, standing strong and facing all this tear gas and everything, they will look very sorry if you're scared of facing them.
No, Farooq, I didn't know what lay behind all that. Now that he's telling me they knew they were all ready for this and that, I went happily.
True. So, members of the audience, do you have any questions that that you want to ask? Okay, yep, come. You want to extra?
I want to ask Fazlin.
Your name first? Yeah.
I'm Siu Ing from Center for Independent Journalism. I nominated Zuna, so I have vested interest. I believe, where is he and why is he not here?
Yeah.
And does he have a speech?
Oh yes, thank you, Siu Eng, for that. Actually, I've got paper with me here. Perhaps I should read it out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Zunar is actually now in Bilbao, artist in residence in Bilbao, under the invitation of, let me read it, Bilbao's Festival Against Censorship and the Bilbao Arte, an artistic production center belonging to the Culture Department of the Bilbao City Council. He was first invited for an exhibition from the 7th until the 27th of November. But then soon the Festival Against Censorship actually managed to get a grant for him by the Bilbao Arte, and Bilbao Arte actually invited him for an artist residency and artist, the first cartoonist actually in the place from October until January. So he'll be touching down on the 2nd January, and I'm left with 3 cats at home. So by the way, I just Skyped with him last night, and he sent me this speech. Okay, I'll just read out to you. Yeah? Dear all, I have won quite a number of awards, namely the Courage in Editorial Cartooning from the Cartoonist Rights Network International in Florida, the Helman Hammett Grants from the Human Rights Watch in Bangkok, and recently the Courage in Fighting Censorship from the Bilbao's Festival Against Censorships. But to be named as one of the Annexe Heroes 2011 today is very special for me, because this is my first local award, and it is such a privilege to be placed alongside 4 other remarkable Annexe Heroes of 2011 too. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, to be recognized by fellow Malaysians is such an honor and a huge morale booster and encouragement. This gives me a renewed strength to continue what I am doing, to expose corruption, abuse of power, and the violation of human rights by the present Malaysian government. I would like to thank the organizers, the Annexe Gallery, and the Amnesty International Malaysia for this award. And of course my families, friends, lawyers, fans and supporters, in which it is through their unrelenting prayers, unwavering support and encouragement that have given me the extra push and strength to accomplish this far. I will keep drawing until the last drop of my ink. Thank you. Best regards, Zuna.
Hi, my name is Kerry, and I'm an activist fighter for the rights of migrants and refugees in Malaysia. Actually, I have an objection against Zuna's negative portrayals of migrants and refugees in Malaysia, especially in these 3 cartoons that he published in Malaysia Kini. So, these are the 3 cartoons, so maybe you can see it here. In these cartoons, Zuna tried to portray that especially the Indonesians, Filipinos, Burmese, Vietnamese, Bangladeshi, Pakistanis, all those migrants in Malaysia, they are trying to collaborate with the BN regimes in terms of vote rigging or voting themselves as phantom voters. So the problem is these marginalized communities in Malaysia, they don't have access to neither the mainstream media nor the alternative media like Free Malaysia Today or Malaysia Kini. But when as rights-conscious cartoonists like Zuna try to portray this kind of one-sided portrayal of a negative image of the migrants, it could surely antagonize them, because Malaysian citizens can easily see that this is quite, these kind of people, they are meddling in our internal politics. So this is the things that we want to voice out in terms of trying to see all the communities, not only the locals but also foreign communities, in terms of vulnerabilities and their troubles. So this is the things that I just want to pass a message to you. Thanks.
Can I answer a bit? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. I definitely cannot answer for my husband for the reason he produces these works.
But I'm not trying to be biased, but this is the truth. Knowing my husband, he is so against racism, he is so against whatever name calling. He forbids that to happen in the household. So I cannot answer this for Zunar, but if you would like to ask him personally, I would encourage you to get into Zunar Cartoonist Fan Club on Facebook, because he has 2 Facebook pages actually, but it's full. But you can, I'm not trying to say that he has so many fans, but you know, this is the reality. So he has another, the third one is Zunar Cartoonist Fan Club. If you just like the page and you could just introduce yourself nicely, and if you want to ask him these questions, he can answer you nicely as well. The cartoons that he does usually has reasons behind it, and for whatever it is, I'm sure he, the farthest from his heart is to you know, make anyone feels marginalized. Okay?
All right. Any other questions from our audience? Yeah, we were getting shy. We had to get warm up already. You know? Participants has already. All right. If there's none, let's give another warm hand of applause to all our winners of the Freedom of Expression Award. And thank you very much for sending our viewers. And we look forward to more work, working together with you again for next year. Thank you very much.
Can we have a group photo?
Yeah.